Hey y'all, welcome back to another Genshin Brainrot news update. Recently, some juicy information from the 5.3 beta testers just dropped, as well as a character claimed to be running in 5.3 by Mavuika Kit. We've got a lot to go over, so I'll try to keep my yapping to a minimum. Make sure you're subscribed and comment your UID and server to enter the 10 Welkin Moon giveaway at 2,000 subs. If you're looking to top up, check out ldshop.gg to get up to 11% off Genesis crystals. They also offer top-ups for other games, including Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail. All you need is your UID and server, and after a few minutes, boom, your purchase is safely delivered to your account. For the next 9 days, you'll be able to spin the lucky wheel after your purchase, and for those of you who spend over $80, you'll become a VIP member, which comes with exclusive perks, including a free Welkin as well as extra coupons. Use my link in the description to get an additional 5% off your next purchase. Thanks to LD Shop for supporting the channel. Now back to the video. Let's go over what you're here for. Over the past few hours, some gameplay of Mavuika just got leaked, and the rumors are true. She has a motorcycle, and yes, it can fly too. Now, after my Chaska video, I've learned that I can't show beta footage without facing the wrath of Hoyo's legal team. However, it's really easy to find on a site that starts with the letter R and rhymes with edit. However, there's nothing stopping me from giving a description of what I've seen. For her normal attacks are the standard Claymore ones. However, things get interesting with her skill. If you tap the skill, Mavuika summons a ring that follows the on-field character while applying Pyro damage, like a Pyro version of Reine's skill. Holding the skill summons her highly anticipated motorcycle, which she performs her normal and charged attacks in during the duration of the skill, both of which are infused with Pyro. For her normals, she sideswipes her opponents with the bike, dealing Pyro damage. For her charged attack, Mavuika revs up her bike, does a couple of donuts, and then leaps off her bike to slam down with her claymore, dishing out some serious damage. Her bike also has crazy exploration utility. It can do pretty much everything the leaks said it could. It can drive, climb up walls, go over water, and even fly, similar to Chaska's skill, all of which consumes Night Soul or Phlogiston if you're in Natlan. Though speaking of gameplay mechanics exclusive to Natlan, Mavuika doesn't really follow the energy system that literally every other character has for their elemental bursts. Instead, she builds up Fighting Spirit, which can be obtained via performing normal attacks with any character or consuming Night Soul points. Which means Mavuika will need an additional Natlan character or two to reach her full potential. Once you have at least 100 Fighting Spirit, you can activate Mavuika's Burst, which sends her into the air and slams down, creating a massive Pyro explosion. She then decides to lock in based on the amount of Fighting Spirit accumulated before using her Burst, with a max of 200 Fighting Spirit. In this state, she not only pummels her enemies to a fine pulp, but also gains interruption resistance, in addition to no longer consuming Night Soul points during the duration of her burst. However, what makes her burst really powerful is that it buffs the entire team's damage based on the amount of Fighting Spirit used, with a max 50% damage bonus. This boost does decay over time, so use it wisely. For her talents, whenever a character triggers a Night Soul burst, Mavuika gets a 35% attack bonus. In addition, whenever you perform a plunging attack while on the bike, the damage scales off the team's total attack. The team's Night Soul and fuel consumption is reduced by 30% and increases Mavuika's Night Soul points by 30%. Finally, when a Night Soul burst is triggered, Mavuika restores 20 Phlogiston to the party. Her entire kit is absolutely nuts and is just as crazy as the leaks predicted. However, I'd remain skeptical about the actual numbers, since those tend to change a lot during the beta. I'm looking at you, Peak Patrol Song. We'll have to wait and see how much of a difference having another Natlan character on the team does to Mavuika. Because if it's a ton, then that kinda locks her into very specific team comps, and locks a lot of players out from using her full potential. Here's her materials, by the way. There's a new local specialty and weekly drop, in addition to the whistles, construct drops, and contention books for talents. Now for her weapon, a 1,000 blazing suns. Ji Hoyo really likes their 1,000-somethings in the weapon names. It boasts a whopping 741 base attack with an 11% crit rate substat. Honestly, that crit rate is just there to fill up the substat slot, because the real power of this weapon is in the passive. Whenever an elemental skill or burst is used, you obtain the Sacred Flame's Blessing, increasing crit damage by 24% at R1 and 48% at R5, in addition to boosting attack by 32% at R1 and 65% at R5. Both buffs last for 6 seconds. While the buff is active, dealing normal or charged attack damage extends the duration of the buff by 2 seconds, and this extension can trigger every second. In addition, the effects of the Sacred Flame's Blessing is increased by 50% if the character is in a Night Soul's Blessing state, and the blessing's duration won't decrease when the character leaves the field. So this is busted, like incredibly good. This weapon turns Mavuika into a powerful DPS and may be more valuable than her C1. Though as of writing this, we haven't heard anything about her constellations. I can imagine this being incredibly powerful on quite a few units. Kinich and Diluc especially come to mind. Here are the materials for the weapon as well. You need the Arrowhead Ascension material, the other construct drops, and Saurian claws, which means it's back to massacring innocent Saurians again. Now on to what has been equally anticipated, the Pyro Traveler. It's confirmed that the Traveler will finally be able to resonate with Pyro in version 5.3. I won't get into any story reasons as to avoid spoilers. Like Mavuika, the Traveler's skill has both a tap and hold function. Tapping the skill gives the Traveler 42 Night Soul points and summons a Blazing Threshold, which is pretty much the free trial of Mavuika's tap skill, follows the active character and deals pyro damage. When holding the skill, you still gain the 42 Night Soul points. However, the Scorching Threshold will deal Night Soul-aligned pyro damage whenever the current character deals damage to opponents within the range of the threshold. This attack has a 3-second cooldown. For their burst, the Traveler deals Night Soul-aligned AoE pyro damage and regenerates 7 Night Soul points per second, thus extending the skill's duration. So you heard that right. The Traveler has a Night Soul's Blessing state. So if you're like me and haven't pulled on any of the Natlan banners, we have a character that can assist Mavuika in consuming Night Soul points to fuel her burst. I'm not going to go over constellations, as apparently the post that had them listed got scrubbed from the internet, so I have no concrete numbers to reference. I remember one of them gave the Traveler a Pyro infusion, and another buffed the team's attack when using the burst, but I can't say for sure. On to the final topic of the day, some info from HomDG Cat about the 5.3 banners. We know that we'll be getting Mavuika in the first half and Citlali in the second half. However, HomDG Cat claims that we'll finally be getting an Arlecchino rerun. They haven't specified which half, but I think she'll run alongside Mavuika to not only tempt players into swiping their credit cards, but also to have a spot open for a leeway character, since the second half of 5.3 will have this year's Lantern Rite. Now, for those of you who were coping hard saying that Shenhei will get a rerun and not Arlecchino, Cope-harder bozo. Everyone knows cryo characters don't get reruns, so now you know what's likely to come, you can better plan your wishes accordingly. I know I'm still holding on to my 300 and something wishes with diamond hands for Mavuika and her weapon, and any leftovers will be stashed away for the captain. Guys, I swear he will be playable. I'm telling you. You just have to believe in the heart of the cards and have the gambler's grind set. Welp, that's all for today's video. What do you think about Mavuika and Pyro Traveler so far? Are they shaping up to your expectations or did they miss the bar? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so you can enter the Welkin giveaway at 2,000 subs. We're so close as of writing this, and with these crazy banners in 5.2 and 5.3, you're gonna need every primo you can get. Thanks for watching till the end. We have a lot more 5.3 beta info to cover, though I'd much rather break it up into more digestible chunks. Especially since I have 3 exams left this week and kinda need to study. Which is also why I haven't been as active lately. Not only has there been kinda a dry spell in Genshin news before the 5.3 beta, but I've also been busy with school, work, and life, and I can't pull too many 4 AM nights without having a day or so to recharge. Winter break is coming up, so hopefully I can get more frequent and higher quality uploads during then. I've been Mama Yai, and I hate calculus with a burning passion.